and I looked like a ghost. Yeah. I said, so let's do this. He goes, it's going to take 2 or 3 years. And I said, okay, I'm game. Because when you take all that medication, it does a number on your liver and your kid. Oh gosh, it was not cool.
Everything.
So he helped me. He was really cool. He helped me. Yeah, I got my license back. I lived in California then at that time. I got my license back and everything. And then, oh my gosh, Laura, when you wake up to the fullness of self. And so I'm 48, when everything, like 49. And then I went, you know what? I think I need to get out of this relationship that I'm in, that I've been in for, since I was 14. Yeah. And I think I need to move to Hawaii.
Doesn't everybody?
Well, I mean, my non-physical peep said, it's time to go, Chica. It's time to go. It's time to go do your thing. So I took my son, then his name is Luca. He was like 15. And I said, hey, babe, you want to move to Hawaii? And his dad's Hawaiian. So he goes, sure, Mom, let's go. So we went off, and we actually, my husband there at the time, we had a house there. 1 acre on lava, not too far from where the lava is flowing right now. So Luca and I moved there in 2002. Yeah.
So let me back you up a little bit. Can you think of an instance where you started to trust those messages and your peeps, that was a turning point for not looking back as far as the trust goes? Can you remember the time where you just decided you were all in the trust department with this? Or was it not that easy?
Well, there's many, but one of them that came up, one of my guides, his name's Chris. He goes, tell her about that one, Julia.
Awesome.
So I know. So there, Lucas, I don't know where Luca was. He was off island. This was in Hawaii after I got there, not too shortly after. And it was friggin' hot. I don't like the heat. And it's during the summer. And I was just like, F this. I don't want to do this. I mean, I didn't want to be fully in myself. I really didn't. I just said, I just want to be out here in the jungle. I want to just have this life where, this is Hawaii. And I have an opportunity to be all that I want to be. And I started yelling and screaming out there in the jungle. And I flopped on my couch and I put the blankets over my head, I can get away from them. And, those big, huge plastic balls you sit on? I don't know what it's called. Yeah. So one of my non-physical persons, Chris, I love him. He is so cool. And he was sitting on the ball. And he started laughing. And I go, what's so funny? And I pull the blankets off of my head and I peek at him like a little girl, right? And I'm going, what are you doing? And all of a sudden the ball just started bouncing. He made the ball bounce in the physical realm. And he goes, funny, yeah? And I go, what the fuck? I said, you're not going to let me go, are you? He goes, no, this is what you need to be doing. And we laughed and I pulled the blankets back and I just kind of went, you know what? Okay, let's go. If I'm going to go in, I'm going to go all in. Yeah. Now, was it smooth sailing after that? No, because there was some insecurity about coming fully out, at 48, 49, I had been out for a while, but not fully out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I love how you're talking about coming out this way.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is another thing that people keep a secret about for their entire lives sometimes. This is one of those things. I love that you're using those words to describe this, because there are going to be people who are not out, who are going to listen to you, today and understand that it really is. Don't you think it's really a full on or not? I mean, you can't be half-assed in this world. You either need to be full on and understand it. And I wanted to ask you about the mentor-teacher thing. Like, who came along first? Was there anybody in the physical realm that became your mentor or teacher for this? Or was this all from you listening?
That's a great question. And you know this, Laura, because of who you be. Everyone's our teacher, yeah? But, totally, yeah. So, and I have been fortunate to have a handful of physical teachers, mentors. Most of my people haven't been non-physical. And I really do believe that and know that's because I'm much more comfortable in the physical realm of being. Yeah. But I've been fortunate to have some pretty amazing physical teachers that have basically kicked my butt, to, hey, get your shit out there, and do this and do that. I'm not necessarily telling me what to do, but I would share with them and they would say, okay. And helping me, this is a really challenging thing, Laura, is when I teach anything, it is about balance, grounding, and boundaries. The 3 B's, I'm not kidding, man. It's just because I've seen a lot of persons like myself, and I can tell because everything's frequency, yeah. So, I mean, I see, feel, hear everything. There isn't it, but I kind of tap into that frequency, yeah. And I know the me's that are not grounded, balanced, and grounded. Yeah, I know them. I can see them. I can hear them like miles away. So my whole goal, persons like myself, that's all I need to do. And then I be with the big B. Yeah.
So I love this because I have like so many questions for you, but 2 particular ones that I know are going to help some people listening. One is, so far you've compared physical to non-physical realm. And listen, before I met you, or a bit before I met you, I'm not sure I could have had this conversation because I would have been like nodding my head because I'm, half woo-woo. But this conversation is woo-woo to some people, and they're going to be my people listening today who understand from a little, they're just not even to the center yet. So what I want you to do, if you can, is what do you mean by physical, non-physical? Like, who are you talking to? Like, what is this? What does this mean for somebody who's never experienced it before?
Yeah. Well, we have a brain and we have a heart. Yeah. And those 2 things are very physical. They're the physical being and spirit. Yeah. But more so the physical realm of being is all the information. So however, I don't mind saying how old I am. I'm 65. Yeah. So I've had 65 years of human experience on this planet. Yeah. And if you look at science, it's subjective. Our memories kind of take in what it takes in. And yeah. I mean, it's great. I had a stroke a few years ago, and trust me, I love my brain. And when my brains were not talking story with each other and my body, that was not cool. That was talk about, yeah. Anyways, then you have this heart, and this heart also has memory. That's a physical realm of being. Yeah. So the heart, yeah. I mean, you've heard those things. I'm sure, Laura, you've been around where somebody gets a heart transplant and a woman gets the heart transplant of a person that liked hamburgers, and she's out there wanting hamburgers. So the memory's there, right?
Yeah.
Now the alma, the soul self, yeah, that's a whole different ballgame. That's something that's with us from the beginning of time to the end of time, which there is no beginning, no end, right? So the alma self of self is the non-physical realm of your being. Yeah, some people may confuse it with spirit. Spirit's something different. Yeah, they're like cousins. They're not even cousins. They're just kind of spirit is part of the spirit of the person, the spirit of the being. Yeah, soul cannot. And this is really interesting because I'm writing that book. Actually, Laura, I want to give a shout out to Miss Laura because she's helping me write my book that's been sitting. It's called The Indigenous Soul.
Oh my God, you guys I cannot wait for this book to be written. So I'm trying my best, and y'all know I'm like a take action kind of gal. So that's probably why Julia found me in the first place. But I've been on her to try to get this thing out into the world. But I want you to continue with.
Well, anyways, yeah. So yeah, she is a kick-ass chica, man. She's about that right now. Anyways, so the soul self of being, sometimes people will say, because I'm asking people out there, and if anybody out there wants to send this to me, I'd be more than happy to read it. But you know what? Our soul is not broken. There are no dark souls. I know I'm putting something out there that people are like, because my understanding of soul is that it is pure. You can't hurt the soul. You can hurt the spirit. You can hurt your heart. And you can have seizures and all that other stuff where your brain goes off, right? But the soul is intact, and it always will be. You're not a lost soul. You're not soulless. All that kind of stuff. I mean, those are terms that people use, yeah? So the soul self of being has everything coded within it that you'll ever need to be in this lifetime or any lifetimes ever. Yeah. So that is what, that piece there, what I know, even when I was a little girl, like 2 or 3 years old, and a thought would come in that was, believe it or not, as I was raised in a very interesting environment, like a lot of us, yeah. And something would come in, a thought or something that I go, what the hell is that? You know, and then my soul self would say, no, mija, no, don't trust that. Don't trust that, yeah. And, or my heart, oh, I'm telling you, and it's okay to share this because my ex, he's fine with it. But when I was told to get out, I divorced this dude 3 times, okay? You know, so each time I did it, people said, don't go back. And I'm going, oh, but I love him so much, right? But I would go against my soul self. My soul self says, hey, you want to go do that again? We're here. But you know that's not a good thing to go do, yeah? So the soul self is pure in the respect that it will never steer you wrong. So that soul self, no matter how crazy things have gotten in my life, I just go, man, that's like if something's going on, even in real time, let's say I have a big ass family. I have 5 adult children, 27 grandchildren, and 5 or 6 great grandchildren. Oh my goodness. Right? I know. That's not, I obviously needed some, grandchildren are the best. So when all this stuff's going on, and I've had some really, anything that's happened in life, it's there, yeah. And I get kind of down and I get in a low mood. I just go, man, and I trust. I don't trust. I know that my soul self will keep me on track. Yeah. So
those are the voices you're listening to.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's not so much, I say voices, but in all reality, honest to goodness, and my place here, my place is packed. Yeah. So I have parties here in the non-physical realm of being. I can never really be alone or lonely. You can be alone, right? Yeah. But if you look at that word alone, it comes from all one. But I can be lonely, which is a state of mind, right? Yeah. So I just ask
That's nice.
Right? Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just, and I'm not saying I don't get lonely, man. That's why I say I don't really care hanging out in the human form, because boy, you got a mind and a heart that's got a lot of memory in it, and you could take yourself for a nice ass ride, which is sometimes no bueno. No bueno is what I say.
That's no joke.
Yeah. So I don't know if I answered the question.
No, you did really, really nicely. And I've heard some things that you've said that have been a little different than things I've heard in the past. So I thank you for that. It's always really neat to get different perspective and open up your world a little bit. And honestly, that's what this particular podcast is all about. These discussions aren't for sissies, because they are forcing you to get into something that you would have otherwise just judged right away. And, I'm asking people to be aware here and awake and open and very curious about something they don't understand. Mm-hmm. It's really important. But the other piece of the question was about purpose. And you said something about it earlier, and I thought, oh, okay, I need to remember to ask her more about that, so that the people who are right now stepping up in the world as healers and as helpers, and who are really trying to be brave about coming out and sharing their message in a bigger, louder way, how do they know? Like, a lot of the people get stuck in, how do I even really know this is my life's purpose? And if they aren't hearing their guides as loudly as you do, how do you move into a place where either you are hearing them more and being able to trust them more? Give us a tool to move toward our purpose today.
Wow, I'm kind of like, whoa, okay. Well, first of all, Laura, and maybe I don't know if this is an answer or not, but we can't do this by ourselves. Okay.
Thanks for saying that.
This is not I didn't go to the big island of Hawaii all by myself and there was nobody else there, right? So, it's building that village, building that tribe or that family that you need, finding your tribe, I guess is what more like it, yeah.